like empty threat of like TikTok ban has like probably increased.
Ramped up their
because
for sure.
everyone's like, FOMO, I gotta see all the things.
For sure.
This is where I get frustrated.
Don't even open that can of worms.
Like horrifying.
Horrifying. Not allowed to cry or have emotions in your house.
Like, do you really need to know what Zymoglyphosate is? Or
Oh, Jessica.
everyone has a favorite. Everyone does. So today, we're going to give Lauren like 5 minutes to just like cathartically release some stuff because this like but this really scary thing like keeps popping up.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm like trying not to cry right now.
I mean, but you can.
A couple of my friends have breast cancer, and it's just fucking scary.
Yeah, it is scary. You should cry. We need some tissues.
It's scary.
It is scary. And
I just found out like right before coming here that one of my friends has it, and she has 2 kids that are the same age as 2 of my kids. And it sounds like I didn't get a ton of details, but it sounds like it's fairly advanced. And it's just, I feel like we're just at that age now where this is popping up, and it's scary, you know? And I think the scariest part for our age is that we're not old enough to like have mammograms covered by insurance. And so no one's like getting, I mean, I guess you can get checked with a breast exam, but like you're not otherwise getting checked for it.
Yeah.
And then now, you know, we were just saying this, like now you only see the gynecologist every 2 years. And so you're going 2 years without a breast exam, and a lot can happen in 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, especially with breast cancer.
Yeah.
So, it's just scary. It's really scary.
It is scary. And like a lot can happen in 2 years. I feel like with all of this stuff, it's like a lot can like, I don't know. It just like tomorrow something could happen. You know what I mean? Like I feel like medical stuff, like, I don't know, like it can just pop up. Like
and
whenever.
I think we're just like, we're getting to that age where it's like much more real, you know? I think for a long time, like when you're in your 20s and your early 30s, like it's not common for people around you in your age group to be dying from stuff like this or like have cancer, you know? And now we're at the age where it's like very real. You know, like my brother-in-law just dropped dead like 2 weeks ago.
You didn't tell me that. So.
I did tell you that. Yeah.
When did you tell me that?
Remember I told you the one in France?
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm thinking, sorry.
So it's just like, oh my God, this is just, it just hits home, and you're like, I don't know. You think like it goes through your head, like, what if that happened to me? What if that happened to my kids? Like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's jarring.
It's very, it's like like I feel like my nervous system is just rattled right now, you know?
I'm sorry.
I mean, but unfortunately, that's like life at this age.
Yeah. I mean, it is.
Sometimes it makes me want to like quit my job and just be with my kids and go live on an island somewhere.
You probably should. I mean, or a farm.
It would be an island. It would be a tropical island for sure. That's where I would go. Oh, 100%. I would go live in the Caribbean and be on the beach every day.
I would think
that's
you'd
my
be
jam.
like out west, like on a
No,
river.
I mean, I do love mountains, but like if I have to pick somewhere to live, I want to be on a beach. That's where I want to live.
Like in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just summer all the time.
Yeah.
All year round.
And like surf.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they're healthy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's island time. You're on island time all the
so
time.
much sun, like vitamin D.
And
like
just
you're
like
moving
chill.
around.
Like it's not fast paced.
Low stress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh, all right. Well, I mean.
Let's get to some other depressing shit.
Okay.
Who wants to feel depressed today?
Right.
Here we are.
Okay, so we are talking about the show Adolescence today.
Yeah.
It's a 4-parter episode, like, I don't know, like an hour each. And it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. Yeah. Okay. So if you haven't seen it, sorry. But it's about a 13-year-old boy. It's in the UK. His name's Jamie. And his house gets raided by the cops because he's a suspect in a murder of a classmate. And it's all shot in one frame, which like stresses me out. Just as a viewer, it does.
Yeah.
Birdman. Did you ever see Birdman with Michael Keaton and Emma Stone?
I don't think so.
Well, it's also shot in one take, and apparently it's really hard. But it like it does its job of like putting the viewer like on edge automatically. So like props to that. But anyways, so they take Jamie, they bring him in for whatever to book him. Okay. And so as the story unfolds, like it comes out that he's being like bullied via social media, calling him like a
incel.
Yeah, incel. I was like,
which I didn't understand.
I didn't know what that was, but it's something. It's like you'll never get laid. I think,
yes,
right.
Or they were explaining to me before you came in. It's involuntarily celibate is what it stands for.
Yeah, like you're just like never.
No one wants to bang you.
Yeah. And so anyway, so some girls were bullying him. To like what extent? I don't think we know. Like,
I know. I kind of wish they'd gotten more into that.
But I think they did that on purpose to like let our minds wander and like think of all the ways,
and get freaked out.
Yeah, and then do something about it.
Yeah.
But what we do know is that he had Instagram and he was posting pictures of like hot, like bra, like 20-something-year-old girls on like his Instagram page, and then he was like gaming or whatever, like video gaming on the computer. In which he had it in his room, I think.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, they show you that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he had unsupervised, kind of unlimited access to social media and computer. Right. So like on internet.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
Okay. So as he's 13, and so during that stage, we've talked about this before, it's like the most important thing is like peer relations and peer perception.
Yep.
So you have that already going on in the brain, and you like add on because you're the medical professional. So at this point the brain produces more dopamine, which the pleasure and reward neurotransmitter
pathway. Yep.
Okay, so that can lead to increased motivation to like risk take and. And by risk take, what do we mean by risk take? Like, you give us some examples. Like,
I guess, like, I would say back in our day, it was more doing things like, jumping off of something super high or like doing crazy flips with your bike or your skateboard or my husband was a skateboarder. Of course he was. Still is. Things like that. Now I think it's or trying drugs, trying to drink,
13,
smoking cigs, stealing things, like
like a lipstick from Morgan's. Yep. And then now I feel like it's because there's this, and we've talked about this before too, because there's like a screen in front, like it's like a wall or like a protection, right? So like risk taking could be like finding those pictures and like putting it out there and being like, I know, like, well, I don't know what he was doing, or saying, but making him look desirable could be considered like a risk taking behavior. Like
cyber sex, like sexting. Like girls,
texting,
nudie photos.
And like being like bullying. Like that's could be considered risk taking. And it's happening more on a screen device because that's easier than doing it in person. It's less scary. Okay, so increase in risk taking behaviors at this time of like development, and then the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for reasoning, planning, and impulse control, is continuing to develop, but it's not fully mature until 25. So there's still a lack of impulse control.
Right.
There is still like motivation to make helpful decisions is like not a priority.
Right.
And like reasoning, like thinking before you do things.
Right.
Like thinking about long-term consequences, short-term consequences, not really happening a lot. Okay, and what's the limbic system? Like, what is that comprised of?
Oh God, you're putting me on the spot. I think it's the hypothalamus.
Whatever.
Okay.
You only do it. Whatever. It's the brain. It's all the brain. Doesn't
so
matter where it is. Whatever. No, sorry. We can also cut it out. Okay.
Okay. Wait. No, I want to say it's the. Okay. Yeah. We'll put it in later.
Okay, so the limbic system, which is emotions and drives, is relatively mature by this age, but it leads to strong emotional reactions and heightened sensitivity to rewards and punishment. So when, like, that's like the middle school fights, you know, like you see an increase in like physical aggression at this point with, I guess, well, boys and girls. And like emotional reactivity as it relates to like immediately responding to something undesired from someone else.
Right.
Without thinking before. So in this film, TV show, 4-part thing.
Yeah, we gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jamie ends up like stabbing, I forgot, the girl or Kate, whatever.
Yeah.
Kate, like 11 times with like a kitchen knife. Just like what, like totally impulsive.
Yeah.
Totally reactionary. Like, I mean, he did, like there was some planning because he followed her.
He had to bring a knife with him.
He had to bring a knife with him, which he got from like one of his friends.
Yeah.
And like knew where she was going and somehow got her to stay like in some close proximity to be able to stab her.
Right.
Yeah. So really impulsive, really out of proportion. Like that reaction is out of proportion to what she was doing.
Right.
Okay. And like we said, the brain's focus at this point is on social connections and peer approval, which can make them more susceptible to peer pressure, which is that incel, like reacting to the incel thing. Mm-hmm. Like he's like pouring like hot girls on his page so he can try to convince people that he's not an incel or whatever. Right. And the scene with the psychologist when she's like, I don't know, asking him if he like hooks up with girls and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I do, you know? And like, didn't he? He was like, I fingered a girl.
Right.
Like,
he was like trying to be cool.
Yeah. Peacocking and being a douche. Okay. So that is where the brain is right now as it relates to like Jamie's age.
Yeah.
And so we have that brain development. We have like unlimited, unsupervised social media access. Same with the game and the computer. All right. Some trends real quick about what is like maybe replacing risky behaviors, like emerging like new risks, which is social media.
Right.
Okay. So what can social media like introduce? Cyberbullying. I feel like that's been around for a little bit. Sexting, which you just said. This is so crazy. Exposure to potentially harmful content. I mean, that could be a slew of things. It doesn't even have to be like sexual. It could be violent stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, like and I'm guilty of it. And as my kids get older, I'll probably decrease doing this. But like watching the news in front of my kids.
Yeah.
I mean, especially here in New Orleans. I mean, it's like murder, gun, drugs, like whatever, that someone killed this dog, like whatever. And the more you expose or the more exposure a kid gets to that stuff, the more normalized.
Yeah, they get desensitized to
Correct.
it. Yeah.
I mean, and it gives them ideas. Anyways, depictions of substance, whatever. Okay, so new risks, online content, positive portrayals of substance use on social media. I mean, I guess I feel like that's gone down a little bit. Like people aren't like vaping and right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't look. I'm sure you can find it.
Yeah.
Though.
Like,
right.
I guess it depends on like what the algorithm picks up. Like if he, like in this film, 4-part series, like if he's like searching for like hot girls, then like his algorithm is going to just
feed him hot girls. Yeah.
Like who are 25 or whatever. Or like 25-year-old dudes talking about hot girls in like a demeaning, degrading way.
Right.
Or it's like, God, there's this stupid guy who I can't think of his name anyways, but like a musician or whatever who has like big titty, the money, the drugs, the rappers, and the whatever.
Yeah.
And so that becomes normalized and it becomes like like a fantasy.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
And it then infiltrates into his like depiction or like value system of what women are.
Right.
Which is something hot to look at and that's it.
Right.
So you have all of that stuff. And then mental health, which is, I mean, you know, it's like you compare yourself to the people on the whatever.
Right.
So anxiety, depression, more prevalent, increased risk to risk-taking behavior, stuff like that. Okay. Platform preferences. This was, I didn't think that, so YouTube is like the highest, which I didn't know that. Like, what are they looking at on YouTube? Like 71% visit it daily, 93% of teens have used it.
Yep.
Tiki-Talkie. 63% of teens have used it, 58% visit it daily. And I feel like this like empty threat of like TikTok ban has like probably
ramped up their
because
for sure.
Everyone's like, photo, I gotta see all the things.
For sure.
Yeah. So really it's probably harder right now.
Yeah.
Snapchat, I didn't know that Snapchat was still a thing. Like it came out like when we were in like early 20s, I feel like, or mid 20s.
No.
Yeah, it did. Didn't it?
Snapchat? No, because smartphones didn't come out until, well, now I'm trying to think, what was the year I was in my early 20s?
10 years ago?
Was that? Wait, I graduated college in 2009. No, because smartphones came out in like 2007.
Yeah, but I feel like 2000.
I think Snapchat was in the teens. I actually have it somewhere in my presentation.
Now I'm interested, so look that up.
Okay.
Instagram, 59% of teens use it. 47% visit it daily. Facebook, 33% have used it. Discord, I forgot what this is.
It's like I think it's like a texting app, like a group texting thing, kind of like
GroupMe?
Kind of like GroupMe.
Why?
That's my understanding of it.
I wonder. Okay, whatever. So 28% of teens have it, or use it. Mobile device usage. 2/3 of teens have their own mobile device with internet capabilities. Online time, average almost 9 hours a day, not including time for homework. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Teens from household. Okay, this is interesting. Teens from households with incomes between $30,000 and $75,000 are more likely to report using the internet almost constantly compared to teens from homes making at least $75,000. Why do you think that is?
Because that is a way of keeping kids, quote unquote, safe at home. Right?
Oh,
when there's a lack of, like, if you have parents who are needing to work multiple jobs and they're not at home to supervise their kids, at least they know their kid's at home, you know, like the internet is keeping their kid at home or the phone, right? And like entertained, so they're not out doing whatever.
Yeah. I also think there's probably some parent guilt in there, you know? Like if if a parent or if a household is making less money than desired and the parent like can't provide all the things that the kid wants, and so the one thing they can is a phone, and the phone has a lot of free things that will make the kid feel connected and happy and whatever, and so then they're like, well, I can't give them anything else, so I'm just gonna like let them do that.
Could be like lack of awareness too,
and lack of education, lack of awareness. And this family in the show, I mean, I think they were probably in that bracket.
Yeah, I would say so. Like working class. Yeah.
And like at the end, I don't know if the mom worked. Dad worked a lot. It didn't
seem like she did.
Yeah,
you know?
I didn't. But neither one of them were educated on anything like tech at all.
Right.
And they were both like, we were doing like crying, like we were doing the best we can. The dad came from this is another thing. The dad was raised with like a super abusive father.
Yeah.
And so his and we know men, they can only focus on like one thing. And so he was so focused to not touch his kid.
Yeah.
Abuse him.
Yeah.
And wanted to provide like a super loving relationship with him and stuff. And like emotionality, I think, was because like UK is different too, but emotionality was kind of not something that was like normed in the household.
Right.
And because he was so focused on like that and he's working like a shit ton, he like, who has time to like think about other shit that could impact your kid? So I'm assuming school. Oh yeah, in school, those kids at that school could just have their fucking phone all the time. That was another thing.
I know that there were screens all over that school.
Screens all over the school, and the teachers were like, "Put the phone down." There was no. Those kids were not scared of those fucking teachers.
No,
like that's another thing. There was like no respect for authority.
Yeah,
at all. And that's because they don't trust. I mean, that's my theory is like if you don't respect an adult, it's because you don't think that they like are responsible.
Yeah, well, the adult's not putting boundaries.
Yeah, correct.
They're not setting limits and boundaries, and then they're not holding the limits and boundaries.
Yes, correct. Put your phone down, but then you still
There's
have
no
your
follow-up.
Right,
yeah.
Right. And so, I mean, these kids were running that fucking school.
Yeah.
Running that fucking school.
I hope it's not a real school.
I mean, but like...
But it's representative of real schools. Yes,
mean,
it is. It is.
You know, there are... Yeah. Okay. So, key themes in the film. There was like an array of developmental stages, peer influence, identity formation, which goes back to that, if people are calling you like an ugly troll incel,
right, then
you're going to do everything you can to let people know that you're powerful.
That you're the opposite. Yeah.
Powerful, desirable, cool, likable, all that stuff. Anyways. Lack of respect for authority, technology, lack of supervision, or too much freedom and trust in adolescence, which you talked about like a lot of episodes ago. Yeah. How like parents think for some stupid reason that kids like have the ability to like know how to structure their time on their phone.
Yeah. And like set limits for themselves. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What planet are we all on? Like, what the fuck?
Like, they don't, like, so this is how I think about it. And listen, I'm, whatever. So, if you put a tub of ice cream, a pack of Oreos, some chips, and whatever on the table, and you're like, okay, I gotta go run some errands, be back. And you think that they're going to, like, take a couple bites of the ice cream, just, like, one cookie and a couple chips. No.
And be done. And be like, oh, I'm done now. This is not good for me.
Yeah. Like, no.
I really shouldn't have more sugar.
Right. There's too much carbs in there. Like, no. They're eating the whole thing. They are driven by that dopamine, the reward.
Yes. Okay. I was about to say that. This goes back to what you said in the beginning about where they are in brain development.
Yep.
That this is the age that is prime for developing addictions because they have a super overactive reward pathway and they are not able to reel in their impulses, plan for the future, think rationally. And so this is why, like, if you expose a kid to marijuana at this age, their risk of addiction, like, skyrockets. If you expose them to alcohol, if you expose them to nicotine, whatever, same for social media.
Yeah. I mean, it is the same.
Same thing.
And, like... And you said this, and like I've noticed this, and I agree with it. I don't agree with a lot of things, but I agree with this. That alcohol use has gone down in like the younger populations, which is great, because it was like that's all we did.
Yeah,
like,
it was a problem. It was a problem.
It was a problem. Like I do remember, I was at my neighbor, probably around maybe like a couple years later, but we would mix like Mike's Hard Lemonade with red wine and like
I know. God, that makes me want to vomit.
I know.
Ew.
It was so gross, but like. But, you know, everyone was like going to the golf, sneaking all that. Like we were playing Hey Miss, like the shit. Did y'all play Hey Mister?
I don't think I know what that is.
Oh.
What is that?
Like we would go Texaco, oh my God, I can't believe I remember this. So the attendant at the Texaco, I don't even think that's a gas station anymore.
No.
His name was Sonny.
Okay.
And sometimes like he would just like let us like buy beer and stuff.
Oh yeah. Ours was called Crack Mart.
Right. But hey,
if you're from New Orleans, you know.
Crack Mart.
You know.
Hey Mister though was like you go like sit in the parking lot of the gas station and like scout like who do you think would buy us beer? Strangers. And like we would go up and like get strangers to buy us beer. It was the craziest shit. Anyways. So that's gone down. So that's good.
Thank goodness.
Thank God. So now people are just engaging with trolls on like Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they can't like corral or they don't know what's good for them.
No.
So they're not going to like do what am I trying to say? Keep saying structure. That's not what I mean.
They're not going to be able to manage their own usage of social media responsibly.
Yes. Right. And so it's also like parents have to, or adults or whatever, because their brains are in that stage and the dopamine receptors are like firing all the time or whatever, like they got to find something else that fires that dopamine that's like helpful.
Yeah.
and good for them.
Yeah.
So that they know that they can feel pleasure outside of social media.
Right.
Or drinking or whatever the fuck it is. Anyways, okay. So I think everybody should watch this show. Like, even if you don't have kids.
Yeah.
Like, if you're
agree.
a teacher, I feel like everybody in the school system should watch it. Because no one has, whatever. I just feel like everybody should watch it. Parents, who else, I think you should watch it with your kid.
Yeah, I think that the point that, the message I got out of it in that last scene was, this could be any family.
Oh, any family.
This was a normal family. They were not abusive.
Nope.
They loved their children.
Yep.
They tried to spend time with their kids.
Yep.
He was a normal kid.
Yeah. Oh,
you know?
That's what I wanted to... Okay, so he's a murderer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, yes, the last scene... Wait, what did you say? What got you the most was...
Was that this could be any family.
Yeah. Or something else. Anyways, he's a murderer, right? So, is he...
Yeah, he murdered. Yeah.
Right. So, let's say, take... I heard that. Take the bullying and all that shit out, okay?
Right.
Is he, genetically predisposed to be a murderer?
I would say no.
Oh, really?
No. I think that was the message I got out of it was this is not some psychopathic kid. This is, I think that's what they were trying to, I know, but I think that's what they were trying to drill home was that hello people, this could be your kid.
Yeah.
You know, he's an average kid. He did have, he did you saw an explosive temper when he was interacting with the psychologist, but you also have to think he wasn't in a normal circumstance when that happened. I'm not that I'm trying to defend him and say that that's okay, but this kid is a 13-year-old who was arrested and detained away from his family and with people who are screaming and going psycho.
No,
you
totally.
So his stress response, his cortisol. Ability to manage stress was probably completely out the window by that point, right? So not that it excuses it at all, but I don't think it was a normal situation that he was in, right?
But what about when I don't even give a shit. Throw a chair, that's fine. But when he got
super close to her,
it was he iffed at her, that. And I guess you could write that off well, that's because his value system on women has been groomed because of the exposure from social media.
Well, and he's defending against he's feeling when she's asking these questions, he's feeling attacked, right? Because it's all the she's tapping into all that all those insecurities.
Yeah.
And so he's having an extreme reaction to it because it's something that's so deeply painful to him, right? He's so insecure. He killed someone over it.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. I took away from it, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the creators were trying to make him look psychopathic, but I kind of took away from it that this is any kid.
It is any kid. It could also be anything. Replace murder with suicide. Replace suicide with substance use. Replace substance use with fighting at school, failing at school.
Right.
Vandalism. That's just one thing that could happen. A slew of other getting catfished or whatever and getting raped by somebody.
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel when you look at him, he looks like a baby. Mm-hmm. He is a baby. You know?
That's why they're calling him an incel.
I know. He's a baby. He's I'm has he even hit puberty yet? You know? So it makes you think his brain development might not even be a 13-year-old, right?
That's
and
correct.
We know that a 13-year-old boy.
Yes.
Their brain development is not the same as a 13-year-old girl.
It is not.
Right? So it's far behind.
Yep.
So he might be in his brain the equivalent of an 11-year-old girl, you know?
Right.
So it's does he even have a real concept of death?
Right.
And understanding that he actually ended someone's life?
Yeah. And the modality of murder is I think it wasn't a butter knife.
I think it was a kitchen knife. Yeah.
I don't think it was. Or you think it was?
I don't think it was a butter knife. I don't think you could kill someone with a butter. It would be pretty hard.
Yeah, maybe he would stop.
But I think it was probably a steak knife. it wasn't like I don't think it was like a butcher knife.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They kind of didn't say.
And see, this is why, because they want conversations like this.
Right.
Okay, so global like takeaways here, like increased supervision.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know. Here are the things that like can happen. Social isolation. This kid was super. I think he had like 2 friends, but he spent the majority of his time
in his room by himself.
Yep. Like talking to him on the thing.
Yep.
So reduced opportunities for real life interactions. Like constant access and with online and social media content contribute to increased stress, anxiety, feelings of inadequacy. Well, all of that was in the show. Have conversations about social media with your kids. Spend weekly one-on-one time with your kid. I like that for at least 30 minutes. I'm here for that. Like,
yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
You need to, like, I think part of the issue, like, within this dynamic was, and I think it's everybody, because we're all fucking busy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so, like, knowing your kid, like, learning your kid, like, where, like, who are they? Where are they? Like, how do they view the world? And, like, not asking them that. But, like, I don't know.
Giving them space and time to open up to you so that they feel, because that's, like, how they feel like they can trust you. And they can come to you when something's actually going wrong.
Yeah. And just, like, noticing, like, how do they interact with people?
Yeah.
Like, how does he talk to me? How does he talk to dad? How does he talk to sister? Or whatever. Like, talking about, like, current things that are happening and seeing how he reacts to it. And then hopefully you will notice, like, oh, he's kind of like talking shit about girls a lot. What, red flag or whatever. Okay. Communicate with school staff. Like, I think parents, and this isn't a parent problem. I think it's a school system problem. There's not a lot of communication unless there's like a very apparent problem.
Right.
So, like, he was the kid that kind of flies under the radar.
Yeah.
And, and
like, wasn't causing problems at school, did well. It sounded like he did, like, okay with grades,
correct. And, like, all of the bullying stuff was on social media, like, via emojis, which had definitions. It's just, like, the level of, like, I don't know if that's the right word.
Viciousness?
Like vigilance you have to have as it relates to meaning behind things.
Oh, yeah.
Like me and Keith, I'm like, Keith, you mad at me or whatever at the beginning? Like, and this, it's like, it's like he sent me a moon emoji. That means the definition of a moon emoji is that, like, there's so much to be anxious about.
Oh, yeah.
Like, with social media, because, like, kids are putting definitions and meanings behind certain words and images and emojis and whatever. So, like, learning those, I would say, like, ask your kid, what does that mean?
Yeah.
If your kid is using tech, your body should be next to theirs.
Yeah.
Like, and, like, the volume should be up.
Yep.
Like, it shouldn't be muted.
Yeah.
And check your own usage. I have to do this all the time. You're good at it.
I know. I'm not. I don't have social media on my phone, but my problem is that I have work on my phone.
Yeah, you do have work on your phone. Yeah.
So it's like they still see me on my phone, which I hate. And it's like every time I'm doing it, I'm like, I want to put it away. But it's like, it's just too easy. The phone is too easy.
It is. And so, like, checking, we just got to check ourselves.
I know. I think it all boils down to awareness.
Yeah.
It's like you got to be aware, become aware of your own use, become aware of your kids' use. That's step one. And then hopefully you can make some changes.
Yeah. And, like, noticing what is it doing for you? Like, what are you getting out of it? Why are you doing it so much? Well, that's probably why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what we want to offer also is if, like, this is an issue in your house or, like, there's a specific tech, like it's a phone or maybe it's a specific platform that they're, your kid's, like, obsessed with, or maybe it's like, listen, there's the iPad, there's the TV, there's the phone, there's this, they take my phone, but whatever. It's, like, a lot of stuff, and you're like, I don't know what the fuck to do. We are offering kind of like a personalized family tech plan, like, for you and your family.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
Or just your kid or whatever it is. So it'll be tailored, it's personalized. And we obviously will make it. You would implement it, and then we would have a one follow-up to see what's working, what's not, and then we could tweak it. Anyway, so if you're interested in the a personalized intervention plan related to tech, you can DM us. Our contact info, our email and stuff, will be in the show notes in the bottom. I don't know. I'm going to point down.
Yes.
The bottom.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, if you're interested in that, reach out to us. And obviously, this is not going to be our last conversation about tech.
Definitely
but
not.
I'm so glad this show came out.
I know.
So fucking good. I know. It was good.
Oh, this show gives me so much anxiety. Oh my God. I was watching it and I was just my chest is heavy. I'm so freaking anxious.
I know.
Because I have 2 sons. So.
Oh, I was about to say, no, you have 3. No, you don't.
No, I have 2.
She doesn't. She has
only
2.
2 sons. Yeah. Another girl. But anyways.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, rate, review, share, review, comment.
Tell your friends.
Tell your dog. Tell your
mama.
Tell your mama. Tell your auntie. tell you. What are y'all? What's the Cajuns Shah?
Oh, I think Shah is
that's
it's boo.
Boo.
Hey Shah.
Tell your Shah thing. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Little Brain Campaign podcast.
If you enjoyed our conversation, give us a follow on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode.
And hey, those ratings and reviews, they actually matter, a lot. Take 30 seconds to leave us a review while you're still thinking about it.
Until next time, remember, we're all just trying our best.
See you next week.